Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please hit that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, and 3 days of live trading, check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And what do you get for that money when you join Patreon? You get trade ideas like this one right here and this one right here, and also this is my X account here, and if you're on there you can give me a follow. Now let's have a look at S&P 500 going into March, and you can see like just right in the middle of this month we actually get a sell-off, and that sell-off actually continues. We actually get a bounce pretty much at the end or beginning of March, and then the sell-off continues again, and that actually continues up until I would say mid-March to end of March, and then the rally starts and we go higher. So it's coming. Market will likely to sell off anytime, especially next 2 weeks is crucial. And you can see market actually not going any higher right now. Last 2 days it's horrible, just trading sideways. We kind of got inside candles, and market just hanging in there buying time. Also, I did show you guys how smart money actually selling out, where S&P 500 going higher and higher, and also the TNX and the dollar, they're pressing higher, and the market also pressing higher. So something is got to give and something is going to come down, and I think very soon you're going to see S&P 500 pulling back, especially how this chart right here, we get that pullback, and it happens pretty much all the time. Now going into today's session, what do we got? We got Dow Jones going up 0.37%, Nasdaq absolutely flat, S&P, you can call it a flat day, only up 0.23%, and Russell going up 0.90%. And here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. On top we got basic materials, real estate, healthcare, so kind of a risk off move here in the market. And then you got consumer cyclical, industrials, energy, utilities, and you can see right here communication services and technology lagging behind. And what we got here on stock market map, definitely Tesla in the green today, 2.23%, Amazon down 0.68%, and finally Disney going up 2.73%, Meta down 1%, Google up 0.33%, AMD down almost 4%, Nvidia down 1.60%, Microsoft staying flat, and Apple going up 0.86%. On SPY ETF, it's up 0.29%, and it's just trading in between $2 all day. Kind of a boring day here in the market. And you can see we got two, candles from yesterday and today, and it's not breaking above this candle from Friday. Not going above this high and not going below this low. So that means one thing, guys. And like I said, yes, things are not coming down, and I get it. And we cannot bring anything down. You got to see, especially when the market going up, you got to see what's happening behind the scenes. And the first thing to look at the volume today. Low volume today and still pressing higher. Smart money selling out. We talked about it last night. HYG actually down and never got up to that high, where we saw S&P 500 actually hitting a fresh new all-time high, 496.05. So going into next, I would say 2 weeks, that's going to be critical here in this market to watch. Are we going to see a pullback where SPY ETF can come down at least 5 to 7%, or maybe even more like 10%? That could happen, right? And it happened before. So watch out here on SPY ETF for a pullback. But also we still have this week, and maybe into next week we could see a rally up to 500 before that pullback. But as long as SPY ETF stays under, I would say, this high 496, yes, there is a chance we could see a pullback, possibly 5 to 7% in near future. So here on SPY ETF, going into tomorrow's session, you need to watch this support down here, 5-day moving average 490, and then this gap 489.23. We also have support down here 488, 485, and then this gap down here at 483 or slightly under 483. But to the upside, it's clear. If this thing actually breaks out above 495, also takes out this high, definitely you're going to see 500 on S&P 500. On triple Q, it's down 0.20%, and you can see it's kind of a topping pattern, but I cannot call this a top yet until I see some confirmation and a breakdown to the downside. So going into tomorrow's session, this is gonna be your line in the sand on triple Q, and you can see how many times this thing holding 425. And now we do have two moving averages right here sitting at 425, 13, and 5-day. So that's going to be a strong support to watch. Below that, we got this gap 420 to 38. We also have support down here near 420, 419.13, 20-day moving average, and then watch out for a dump off down to this gap 413.58. But as long as triple Q can hold right here at 425, yes, there is a possibility we could see a push before a correction all the way back up to 432 to 435. On IWM, it's up 0.90%, and I played IWM today, and this was a really nice setup, getting those calls really close to 191 and selling out at 193, and now you can see it's trading at 193.67. So going into tomorrow's session, we do have resistance right here at 194, 195, and then possibly right up here at 198. Now to the downside, finally this thing closing above 193. So this is gonna be your line in the sand on IWM 193, but if that gives up, watch out for 190, 188, and soon as IWM breaks under 188, it's going to make a new low, and that low could be all the way down here at 183. On DIA, Dow Jones ETF, it's up 0.39% and now holding 385 right here as a support into closing. So you can see, I mean, it's getting really tight right here, and it's not actually making a big move. Kind of exhausted right here after this run from 323 up to fresh new all-time high last Friday, 387.78. So are we going to see at least a run up and another fresh new all-time high up to 392, possible above 385? But watch out, if we need to catch this thing to the downside, you need to see a breakdown below 20-day moving average right here, and that is sitting at 380. If this thing actually comes down here and breaks down below 380 and also takes out, you know, especially right here, this high 378, that is when you're going to see a significant selling, possibly can come down here to 371. But until this thing is holding 385, there is a chance this thing can go right back up to right here, this high 387.78, and possibly up to even 392 before we get to see a nice correction here on Dow Jones. On TNX 10-year, it's down 1.78%, and you can see this thing gapped up, so it might be coming down to fill this gap down here around 40.57. And this thing did break below 41, so watch out, we might be filling this gap right here, and then if this thing can hold right here, yes, this thing can go right back up. And you can see also 5-day moving average right here sitting at 40.23, so there is strong support after filling this gap in between 40.57 and then 40.23 right here, 5-day moving average, and below that this thing will dump again down to 38.80. But here on 10-year, if this thing can hold right here and also breaks out above after filling this gap 41, yes, we could see a move all the way up to 40 to 38 and possibly up to this high 43.70. So the dollar also taking a backseat today, down 0.30%, and this was a huge rejection yesterday, closing right below this resistance right here, 104.48, and you can see clearly again today this thing ran, got rejected, came down, and now holding above, especially 5-day moving average 103.92. So if this thing pulls back even harder, you want to watch 103.92, 103.58 as a support right here on dollar. But soon as we get that breakout above 104.48, this thing can push up to 106 easily. On VIX is down 4.46% and now holding $13 right here as a support into closing. And the next support will be down here 12.15. To the upside, VIX will find resistance at 13.76, and if VIX can clear that, then watch out for a move up to 14.50 and then possibly up to 15. And once we get that breakout over 15, that is when we can talk about a real breakout on VIX for a move all the way up to $18 to $20. And that's all I have for you guys in this video.